It is quite easy for youth in Nepal to become demotivated. Our social media is flooded with news of challenging economy and lack of good governance, due to which thousands of youths are leaving nation every day. One of the common questions that arises in our mind in this challenging situation is, how do we protect our growth in Nepal? Or let's say, is there something that we can do as an individual to ensure our growth here in Nepal? One of the visionary leaders of Nepal has answered these questions in his book Why Nepal? Ujjwal Thapa, the author of the book, was a phenomenal entrepreneur, an activist, and a political leader who initiated the movement of Vivekshil Nepali. Today, I am going to elaborate on his 5 call to actions that he has made to Nepali youth in his book Why Nepal. We often find comfort in sharing our things to a close group of people or our friends, but it is rare for us to evaluate our thoughts, organize it, and publish it in a documented form. Writing blogs publicly is especially important because it improves your writing, but who knows, you might be the voice that inspires many of the people in Nepal. And if you think that starting your newsletter or publishing your blogs right away is a big step for you, then you can start by writing comments on the anonymous sections of the newspaper and then gradually move on to blogs, newsletters, or maybe even articles. Getting inspired from what Ujjwal has said, I've also started my own newsletter to publish the things that I've learned. And if you want to subscribe to the newsletter, you can visit my website and subscribe to the newsletter. A very common phrase that we use in every jiagof that we do is "Yestai ta ho Nepalma." Remember how I said our social media feeds are flooded with negative news? Well, let us try to be an exception to it. Let us try and start the culture of positive gossip. No matter how small the action is, let us cultivate the habit of celebrating those actions publicly and appreciating them publicly. Be it a boy who has volunteered to manage the traffic or donated the book, let us spread this news wholeheartedly. The culture of internship is highly neglected in our society, but it is so important. Ujjwal Thapa in his book has suggested us to work for someone at least 1 month in every year. Internship is how we actually prepare ourselves for the real world, as it bridges the gap between our study and the work. And if you're someone who is working on your college application, internship might be a great aid to your application process as well. As Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, he who doesn't pays for it. The crux of this idea is that you earn an interest in the interest that you have generated from the initial investment. Thus, the compounding effect makes your interest grow at an exponential rate. Understanding basic rules of personal finance and applying it to your life can help you become financially independent and make choices without any restrictions in your life. We often complain about lacking bureaucracy, poor governance, and whatnot, but let us try to reflect for a moment. Have we ever tried to do anything to hold these authorities accountable? No, right? So from now on, let us file the right to information request to local administration, requesting them to show how and where the development budget was spent. Everybody knows what the problem is, but from now on, let us try to look at it from a more constructive yet optimistic approach, shall we? This was it for today's video. I highly recommend you to read this book Why Nepal, where Ujjwal Thapa has talked about not only challenges but also the opportunities that beholds for our country Nepal. Thank you for staying till the very end of this video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.